Well, since my last video, I took this thing out for a test drive, and the rack was still really loose. So I actually grabbed another rack, and I had planned on replacing it. And then I remembered that you can adjust the pinion preload. So I figured I would try that on this car, and it worked. It tightened up the rack. And what you do is you grab a, what is that, 1 3/4 inch socket, I believe. Big one anyway. Yeah, 1 3/4, and you break this this jam nut loose, and then you can go ahead and tighten up that that bolt in the middle there. And what you're supposed to do is tighten it up until it bottoms out, and then back it off 1 hex, or about 50 to 70 degrees is the spec, but 1 hex is 60 degrees. So I went ahead and did that, and it was still a little loose, so I brought it back, did it again, tightened it up a little bit, and it was too tight. I would turn the wheel and it would stay there, it wouldn't return. So I brought it in a third time, and I think I've got it pretty good now. Steering wheel comes back and it's nice and tight. I also went ahead and took a tape measure, did a quick toe adjustment here, so it's a little bit closer, and it drives a whole lot better. Unfortunately, one thing I did notice when I had it, when I brought it back in and jacked it up, is there was coolant coming from this side, and turns out that the radiator was cracked. I don't think you'll be able to see it on camera, but there's a crack right in there. So I already went ahead and did it. I replaced the radiator. Didn't take much. Just basically remove this top part, the hoses. You don't have to take the fans out. Just unbolt the top piece of it, and a couple of lines on this side. Pull it out, throw a new one in, bolt it all back together, and that should be good. I haven't put coolant in it yet because I still have to replace that elbow. I'll do that later. I've also left the battery unhooked for several days, and it doesn't seem to be losing a charge. I checked the alternator, that's charging. It's not putting out a bunch of AC voltage, and I checked again for a parasitic drain, and I haven't found one. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe maybe it's got an intermittent parasitic drain or something, which is not really good, but hopefully it'll just be good now. I charged up the battery all the way and left it on overnight, so maybe I saved the battery. I have no idea. But I still got to do a few things to it. I've got to order up the new tensioner wheel and new elbow, and I'll put them in and probably video that. And I've got to do the rear view mirrors. Both of them are junk, so I'll grab some off of one of the other cars and throw them on here. And when I was driving it, since the turn signals don't work, I was doing it, you know, manually, and I noticed that when I would do that, the low fuel light would come on and off when I would use the turn signal. So I have no idea what's up with that. I'll probably tear into the column and maybe replace this, because it feels like it's got a lot of play in it anyhow, but I'm thinking there's probably a loose wire in there somewhere, because it shouldn't be blinking the low fuel light. But other than that, I haven't put any money into it yet, so a few more little things and it should be good to go.